Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris, and this is MMA for you. I'm gonna do predictions for Bellator 32 coming up on October 14th. But before we get into that, please visit our sponsor, GoBusiness123.com, and please visit the C&D channel website. Also, we're gonna have shows like pretty much every week, so please subscribe to us. We're gonna have a lot of content, especially coming up in the next couple days. Bellator right now is pretty much gonna finish their season, and so I am gonna do the predictions and post-fight analysis for Bellator 32, 33, and 34. So you can look forward to like Roger Huerta versus Eddie Alvarez, Lyman Good versus Ben Askren, Zola Fausto versus Megumi Fujii, and of course the one that's coming up, there's like Konrad versus Neil Grove. So yeah. Check it out, and please leave any comments or go email us at thecndchannel@gmail.com. So let's get right to this. In Bellator 32, the first fight of the night is going to be Chris Page versus Michael Chandler. Chandler is coming off a big win over the TKO win over Scott Stapp, and Chris Page has no professional MMA fights in accordance with Sherdog Fight Finder actually. So he's probably had some amateur fights or something, but you know, Chandler looked really good. I've been hearing about the guy for a while actually, and his wrestling's good. I like that he stays active too when he's on top. His stand-up looks to be improving. He looks to be a guy that has some power, and I was really impressed with his last performance against Stapp. TKO win, really nice. Just good ground and pound, just good energy, you know what I mean? He kept pushing forward, you know, he kept pushing, he kept working. That was the thing I really liked. And the next fight after that is Ryan the Tank Ender Thomas versus Jim Woolhead. Jim Woolhead's a judo guy from is it Poland or Iceland? I want to say Iceland, and he's finally making his Bellator debut. He's only had like one loss in his career, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure. Ryan Thomas, he's coming off some losses to Ben Askren. He did beat Jacob TikTok McClintock by ground and pound. Thomas is definitely a veteran. He's fought in the UFC. He's fought some really good guys, or some really solid guys. Jim Woolhead's still a prospect. Good judo. You know, his nickname is Judo, if I'm not mistaken. It's tough to say who's going to win this, and I don't know if this fight's going to stay standing either. I think Thomas might want to take him down and emulate his game plan of ground and pounding guys. He did some really good ground and pound against McClintock. And he had a really, not really the most competitive fight. It was a competitive fight against Ben Askren, but, you know, he was pretty active on the bottom. I mean, he'd reverse position, only to get reversed, which is pretty bad actually. But it's tough to say who's gonna win this fight. I haven't seen enough Woolhead to really pick him, but you know, he is a prospect that does have some that is getting some recognition with some MMA fans. Thomas has a good amount of fights. He's pretty much like a veteran. This one's really hard to say. I'm gonna actually go with Thomas, but I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't know enough about Woolhead to really say enough about this fight to see who'd really win, to make a really good judgment. I've seen a lot of Thomas, so I'm gonna go with him just because he's the one I know. You know, the next fight after that is Zach Makovsky versus Ed West for the bantamweight title, Bellator bantamweight title. I'm very impressed with Makovsky, especially in his last fight. His wrestling is really good. His guard passing is really good too, and he's pretty active. Ed West, he's really tall, as shown against Jose Vega. He's good against it on his back. Not the best takedown defense. His stand-up's improving. He does have a lot of reach, which is really good. But Makovsky is... I'd be surprised if he doesn't go for the takedown. I think Makovsky's going to take this by wrestling, guard passing, and just staying busy on the bottom. I think this fight's just mainly going to take place on the ground. Makovsky He's pretty short for a 135er, actually. Jose Vega looked pretty short for a 135, right? A lot of these guys, I gotta wonder if they're gonna make a flyweight division pretty soon, because I don't know if they can cut. They're pretty. They look like good 135ers. Some of them look kind of short. I gotta wonder if some of these guys can cut to 125 without like cutting an arm off. But that'd be really cool. Yeah, and flyweight division's been talked about. It'd be cool if Bellator started it. I know the WC. There's always talks with them about it. But yeah, as far as this fight goes, Makovsky by wrestling, just take down, control. Ed West's gonna throw stuff from the bottom. I think Makovsky's gonna avoid it because his jiu-jitsu is really good too. I actually was a little more impressed with Makovsky's jiu-jitsu in his last fight than West's jiu-jitsu against Vega. I mean, don't get me wrong, West looked good. I mean, he looked really good. I mean, he slapped on a triangle that, like, I don't know how Vega didn't tap, among other things, taking his back and whatnot. But Makovsky, just in his last fight, man, he just, I was just really impressed with his wrestling, and Ed West doesn't seem like he has the best takedown defense out there. And finally, the heavyweight title fight of the card is Konrad versus Neil the Goliath Grove. I gotta give it to Konrad. I mean, he's such an easy favorite for this. I think a lot of people want to see Neil Grove beat up Konrad because Konrad, honestly, he's starting to get the label of a lame prey type of fighter. His stand-up doesn't look that good. His wrestling's really good, and he's actually fast for his size. He's just one that's he's really deceiving. His looks are very deceiving of what he can actually do. I was glad that Konrad went for the Kimura against his last opponent from half guard. It was actually incorrect technique in that Konrad had to stretch himself out as far as possible. Like, his arms had to be stretched out just to crank the Kimura, and which pretty much his arm a guy's arm goes this far, and that's it. You can't pull it farther. You know what I mean? You can't really pull it farther if Konrad's arms only go so far. I mean, the technique is up. I thought he should have went down and go up with it and kind of pull it that way, or maybe at least get mount. But otherwise, it was good that he went for the Kimura. I'm kind of criticizing the Kimura that I really should be criticizing, to be perfectly honest. It is one of the fights. Konrad's probably gonna take it by wrestling. I think a lot of people want Grove to win. Surprisingly, he's 39. The one time he fought in the UFC, he got leg locked by Michael Shezel. He has a really hard name to pronounce. And pretty much got his knee ripped out of his socket. Pretty much Shezel and the or whatever his name is. I should know his name actually. He's fighting the IFL too. But it's really cool to see Neil Grove, of all people, make this, like, big run in Bellator, I mean, I like Eddie Sanchez a lot. I think, wow, you beat Eddie Sanchez. Wow, you beat the Russian guy, Olenek. Is it Olenek? I think it's Olenek, And he's beating these guys up pretty good, I mean, he's getting these, like, highlight reel TKOs and KOs against, like, solid but not spectacular guys. I mean, Eddie Sanchez at best is the gatekeeper to, like, if you can fight in the UFC heavyweight division or not, maybe, what I mean. It doesn't really go much farther than that with, like, a guy like Sanchez. Grove's probably in that same spot, but it's really cool. It's really cool. Grove would have the height advantage. I hope he goes for some blitzes when it stands, and I hope he goes balls to the walls, honestly. I know Konrad's going to try and contain that through his wrestling, and I'm sure he's going to get some takedowns. I don't know if he's going to pass. Konrad's pretty content with just staying in half guard and throwing, like, some pitter-patter or ground and pound, and that's kind of how I see it might be 5 rounds of this. So I'm not looking too, I'm going to watch it. Hopefully something cool will happen and Grove will win it. But I think Konrad's going to take it, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, that's it for the Bellator 32 predictions. Just join us or join me for the Bellator 33 predictions, the Strikeforce Challengers 11 predictions, UFC 21 predictions coming up. We got a lot of stuff going on here on the C&D channel and MMA for you. So please subscribe to us and leave any comments with us. Thank you very much.